What comes to mind when I mention a prehistoric structure? For many of us, it's Stonehenge. I went to school for architecture. This is one of the first slides that pops up, presented as one of the first post and lintel structures, a post being a column, a lintel being a beam. But guess what you see in Africa, minimally 100 years earlier? You can see post and lintel structures that are much more refined and developed than what you see in Europe. A couple takeaways here. One, what's been presented to us and kind of the conditioning of sequences is off. And secondarily, you see much more developed and sophisticated structures in Africa than in Europe. Literally, Stonehenge does seem prehistoric or primitive in comparison to what you see going on in Africa at the same time. The other takeaway is if you look at just the structure, this is kind of the main structural system that has been used throughout history. And if you look at just a comparison of a temple in Karnak, which predates the Parthenon in Greece by almost 1,000 years, you can see, look at the structure. The structure is extremely similar. Now in Greece, they were exposed to stone temple building from being exposed to Kemet around 650 BC. They were admitted into Kemet after a long-standing ban on foreigners. 50 years later, you see these stone temples. You don't learn monolithic masonry in 50 years or less, okay? This was a 2,000-year-old progression in development in Africa that was passed on and taught to the Greeks. It's not recognized, but you can see it, right? And it is the truth. Classical Architecture's African Roots coming out November 3rd for free online. Flippable ebook. It's going to change the world, baby.